Welcome to Daggers and Shadow Daddies.
We're your hosts, Ryan and Adriana.
Buckle up, Buttercup.
Warning, this podcast contains explicit content.
Don't drop the soap, it's gonna get dirty.
It's all vibes and no facts.
Which one's the Shadow Daddy? The sexy one?
We just watched John Tucker Must Die last night, and it's kind of the same thing where you have these different cliques with the girls, and so he's dating all these girls in different cliques, thinking that they will never speak to each other, and they have nothing in common, they don't like each other. But things didn't go well when they became friends.
The moral of the story is that when they united, it didn't help them at all. Actually, that's the opposite. Well, in what way did it not help? In what way did it help them? John Tucker ended up in a throuple at the end of this.
Okay, you're right.
And the girls still ended up mostly not anywhere near where they wanted to be. The loser brother ended up with a girl that he would... But from the beginning, the loser brother was going to end up with the girl that liked him already anyway. I really enjoyed that movie. It's very funny. But it is not a movie that you look at and you're like, now that's the results we were hoping to achieve. That movie builds to a story all the way through, and in the last 5 minutes, it's like, oh, fuck, we got to end this. It's been an hour and a half.
We're going to wrap this up. Let's throw him into a throuple.
That's it. Like, no, he wasn't reformed. Nothing happened. He's still a rich kid who's now just having threesomes.
So you think the king is doing a good job preventing the rebellions from forming larger alliances?
He appears to be good at sowing discourse.
Okay. Yeah. He has magic. She needs to figure that out. That's Elena's message for the most part. She had a very long message.
The doorbell was fun, though.
Yeah.
The door knocker.
I love the doorbell. I hope we get to see him again.
Me too. I was hoping he was going to become a gargoyle.
It would be nice, but it's only when she visits him.
You could take it off the door. Have him come with you.
And to anyone who doesn't know, his gargoyle reference is to the book, The Knight and the Moth.
Yeah, there's a second one coming out. It's amazing. Read that book.
Chapter 7. Kale went with her to the elite neighborhood to go find Archer. And this is when I thought that he kind of looked like an undercover cop, because she was like, you can't wear your uniform. He's like, all right, fine, I'll dress down. Look normal, casual. I'm just thinking that he has a buzz cut still in my head. And he still looks like a cop, but in t-shirt and jeans.
It gives me the hello, fellow kids
Yes.
thing going on.
Because he still walks like a cop. And he still
He talks like a cop. He stands like a cop. His shoulders are square.
Yeah.
That's definitely a part of this. The other thing that I find odd is that they can stand on the stoop of a country club ostensibly, and people are not shocked that somebody's just been standing there the whole time. There isn't a doorman or something there. They have no security at this place, and it's like, this is full of rich, influential people. How the fuck is this building so not secure that these guys can just loiter? And she's like, well, dinner normally takes an hour and a half. We showed up an hour and 25 minutes in. Oh, timing's just about perfect. I'm like, you were really counting on this meal going exactly according to plan. Nobody was staking the place out.
She staked it out a few days ago.
For the location. But how quickly is dinner done? Well, did he order soup or tripe? Like, is there something that was it a souffle? Did it take longer for them to prepare? Perhaps longer for him to eat? Was he eating with somebody who's long-winded? Like there's things in that school. Like, I think we could have been more prepared.
I took it as it wasn't going to be less than that time, an hour and a half. So they need to be there from then on.
She gave it a 5-minute window. She said dinner normally takes. The average time is this hour and a half. Like, so a 2-hour-long dinner, to average that out would then require one that's only an hour.
I don't think you're willing to give her the benefit of the doubt. I think she did great.
Oh, man, this is the thing. I really like her, but she pissed me off just before the scene, so I think I maybe didn't want to accept. Yeah, she was arguing with the ghost lady, but keep saying her life. And the door knocker. I think I was giving Selena a little harder of a time in this than I needed. It sucks because I'm really starting to like K-Hole. I don't want to like K-Hole, but they're giving me people who I dislike more. Say no to my heart. Good job, Sarah J. Maas.
Okay, so they're walking in the series together. She liked the idea of walking this area with the captain of the King's Guard, and she makes fun of him for the women wanting him, and he says, next time you train, remind me to wallop you, and an old lady overheard.
Yeah. And she decisively was like, that man's beating that woman. This is a problem.
And telling her to remind him to beat her.
And she's like, oh, yeah. And then the old lady's disgusted with both of them.
She's like, oh my God. She's like, men, am I right? And she's like, no.
It'd have been funnier if she was just like, yeah, that's one daddy.
Oh,
It just got real creepy.
I think that would make him cringe so hard.
Yeah, that's what I would have done if I was her. Oh, Annie, you always got to push it just a little further than they're willing to.
But then things go south for Kale. She bumps into Archer.
Yeah, and I think even Kale got a little hard. He looked at him and was like, Jesus Christ, that man's handsome. He's like, fuck that guy.
Yeah,
which is the exact reaction here. And I think that's such an oddly earnest reaction coming from a young girl who wrote this story to understand that men must be very basic. I think the men are generally more accurately written in a way that I could imagine women. I don't know why that is. Do you think that's me just finding things that aren't there?
I think that I'd learn more from you, that I hear how this male situation goes. I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds right. And I just keep going through. And they're like, wait, no, this. And you give your perspective on it. Is this normal that when he meets this beautiful man that she bumps into, obviously on purpose to then start the conversation, and she starts flirting with him, but you can see that line is blurry of her flirting for the get the
This for the job. Right.
And he knows that this was real flirting right in front of him, and it made him uncomfortable. And he just kind of was like, fuck this guy. Kind of making the face you're making right now.
That's just how my face rests sometimes. It's unfortunate. Yeah, but this is my thing. I'm like, well, it seems accurate enough to me. I could feel that way.
Yeah.
Like if Adri had to flirt with somebody and they were handsome or funny. Funny kills me. Dude, if you're a funny dude, don't fucking talk to my wife. Okay? Don't do it. Not for you. You're doing great in life. Go flirt with somebody who's not otherwise spoken for. Leave her alone. I think that's how I would feel in this moment. I'd just be like, this guy's awful. I would find the flaws. This guy's so fast.
And I don't think he points it out too in depth. I think that she's aware that he doesn't like him.
He basically says he's a spineless twat.
He does, but it's not like an in-depth conversation. It is a very, I said what I said, whatever. And then later, when she is saying, the king has sent me to kill you, is when she sees him for who he really is, and she acknowledges that Kale was right, and that Kale was able to see through this when he first saw him.
Yeah, and I think some of that's a little bit of luck on Kale's part.
I was going to say, I don't think...
Where he's like, oof, luckily that guy was a weenie.
But no, I think that it was a mix of Kale could read him and also the jealousy of this beautiful man in flirting with this girl.
You got to find a flaw. And I think he dug for one that maybe he's like, this is probably true. The law of averages, though. I think that's the other thing. Maybe that's why I'm giving it more credit right now, where I'm like, oh, these books, it's more accurate for the men. I must not always feel that way, I'm sure. I'm like, well, this seems like a pretty accurate representation of how this would go. And I'm like, well, it may be because it's not such a varied experience versus you seem to have this rich, in-depth feeling about a lot of things. Your feelings are more complex.
Yes. If I'm in a scenario, it's more than just I feel jealousy. I'm feeling a lot of things, and I'm feeling it for hours. And I think that you will feel your feeling and then just kind of keep it in that moment. And so when Kale does it, that doesn't stand out to me.
Yeah.
And maybe Kale isn't really doing it because he still is attracted to her and jealous.
And it's not necessarily a complex archetype to throw together. As the author, this isn't a difficult thing to imagine.
So do you think that it should have had more in-depth emotion into his...
No, that's why I'm like giving it so much credit, is I'm like, no, it was pretty straightforward. He saw that dude, immediately hated that guy. He clearly gives you a goofy feeling, and then you're just like, oh, it's a fucking weenie. Generally speaking, that's so plausible, it's sad. The amount of times where like you'll meet a dude and they'll talk really tough, and you're like, oh yeah, this dude's never been hit in the face. Fuck that guy. It happens all the time. But it is funny to me because I've had similar moments in the aspect of sometimes dudes are friendly. And sometimes dudes are friendly for alternative reasoning. you could pretty much assume it's always the alternative reasoning, and you're going to be right 90% of the time.
Why do you think Archer was being friendly? Was it because I don't know if Archer actually wanted anything from her, anything like that, other than he's just a flirtatious man.
Archer enjoys the attention of somebody lusting after him. I think that's part of it. And I think you would learn to get that feeling through being a male prostitute. You have to find love in something you're doing. And everybody likes to be thought of well. If you're a super good looking dude, I imagine that's a pretty addicting feeling for women wanting you. Has to feel insane. I don't know. I think the same feeling I get like when we go out and meet people. I like to be funny. I like to be as charismatic as I can potentially be. If I've got social battery, I will deplete that fucker in 2 hours. Just burn through that shit as fast as I can and then leave. And I imagine it's a similar thing for him where he's like, oh, turn it on. Boom, the charm is there. What does it hurt for her to be charmed by you? And you get to make that guy feel a little shitty about himself. It's wizardly. I think there's so many things that you could put in there for why that might be a fun interaction if you're Archer.
It sounds like it was a really well done scene for the guys' perspective.
Yeah, and this is the thing. I don't think it had to be complicated. I think it wasn't because it didn't have to be, and I like that it wasn't overly complex. I like that she didn't go further depth with K-Hole. K-Hole couldn't have complex feelings. He had simple feelings. Caveman brain shit. Handsome man. Making my lady smile and giggle. Fuck that guy. What's probably wrong with him? His hands are soft. Means he's a bitch. Like, there's so many of those moments. That's all it had to be. He didn't go into like, oh, you see his eyebrows are neatly plucked. That means he's doing something else. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I don't have complex feelings. So I imagine that he also would not.
What do you think about as she's flirting with him, they're having this flirty banter of you're not 13 anymore. It felt
gross. So gross.
gross.
Yes, so gross. Oh, you've matured well. I wouldn't have guessed you'd have grown tatties. Back when you were 13 years old, you weren't so developed. Fucking
She
nasty.
then makes a comment. You're not far off.
I
from
know.
what was really
I
happening
know.
in this scene.
It's gross.
She says, it turns out I'm not the only one who's filled out. And then he says, comes with the profession. I thought it was really funny.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
It's so weird. And then they have
Fucking Deuce Bigelow out here. Fucking showing off to the ladies. Get rid. I mean, she should have killed Archer. Maybe we Cable on this one. Take his ass out. We don't need another one.
Well, I think at some point, Kale reassures himself that Archer isn't a problem because he's going to be dead by the end of the month.
Yeah, well, here's the other thing about Archer. Cable doesn't need to be worried because Cable's rocking the monstrous meat hammer. We went over it in book 1, where I quote from the book, 17 inches long, 9 inches in circumference, baseball bat, third leg amputated at the knee.
It's canon.
It was exactly in the last.
That's a quote.
You had to read between the lines, but it was basically a quote.
They have an awkward walk home with Kale being jealous, but I think they're walking very close together. Like their hips or their waist. I don't know if his hand was around her. I should have.
I think it was arm linked. It's a lady and noble.
Oh, yeah. But they were very close together, and he wanted to really lean into her a little bit and was like, no, I need to continue to walk.
Is she short?
No, I think it was like he wanted to be even closer to her, but he didn't want to push a boundary that she isn't explicitly stating he can.
I suppose I'm asking this more so about logistically. If you're walking near somebody that is like your same height and you guys are having a conversation, the simplicity of just kind of moving closer makes sense. You can kind of have that argument. There's nothing romantic if you and I are trying to speak kind of quietly together while walking. I cannot romantically squat down to talk to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, so you lean down so far that it is not a romantic thing at all. Now, if I were 5 inches shorter, you were 5 inches taller, that would make that much easier if you were just trying to get closer to somebody.
I bet they are similar height. Or close.
In my brain, I thought she was just a tiny little bird.
No, I picture her
But
taller than me.
you were a tiny bird. I'm so sorry to tell you.
I think I had her closer to like 5'10".
Okay, see, and that's very different. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking 5'3", 5'4", in my mind. And I was thinking K-Hole's like 6'4", and maybe it's closer to like she's 5'10" and he's 6 feet tall. Before they.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think she's tall. And
Yeah.
I don't know why I think this. I think her and Nehemia are tall.
So I picture Nehemia like 6'3", 6'4". I picture her being like an Amazonian tall.
I don't remember if it was stated, but I think you and me just said she was tall.
Yeah, for some reason, it was like, oh yeah, no, she's 6'5",
Yeah.
demi-goddess or whatever. I picture her being very tall. I wonder why. I picture...
We made the comment that because she can use magic, that maybe she has a family member that was an L. Yeah, Fae. And that she is human presenting, but she still has Fae features, characteristics like being tall and ability to use magic.
And being just gorgeous.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was us just trying to make
right.
sense of things.
I'm on board with it because I'm just, in my head, I'm just realizing that I'm like, why do I picture? I'm picturing all the guys very tall for the most
I don't
part.
picture Dorian. I don't picture Dorian tall.
So I don't really either. I picture Dorian being like 5'10", right? I picture K-Hole being taller and more broad. But I pictured Parrington being a big John Goodman-esque.
Ooh, no. I think that's a better fit for the king.
And that could work too.
Parrington, I still imagine at the end of Tropic Thunder version of
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
All right. I kind of, yeah, no, that is a really good one too. The thing for the king is, in my brain, he's more like Myrda in Brave, her dad, as far as the way he's built, just a big mountain to the man.
And that's why when you said John Goodman, I felt that was a way better fit for the king.
I think you're probably not new John Goodman, pre like Roseanne era John Goodman. No, that's a good point. I don't know why I'm picturing them all that big. Because I'm also like, this takes place a long time ago. In my mind, I guess. It doesn't really take place here. So I'm always making a fucking difference. Right. So if somebody was 5'10" in medieval times, would have been a fucking giant.
Yeah.
The average height of a dude was like your height. So it would be wild that I'm imagining these people just huge. Look at doorways and stuff in castles. Imagine these dudes walking through those tiny little doorways.
And making doors was really hard.
And they built a castle where they really struggled was the doors.
The doors. So they walked home. They
had like steps uneven in castles.
Why they were? I'm assuming because the people who were familiar with the castle were familiar with the step heights, and the people that weren't familiar with the castle would trip.
Damn it, that's really good. You're right.
Thanks.
And did you know this? Did you look this up?
I'm sure we talked about it before. That was immediately the first thing I thought of. It doesn't sound like something I would have looked up, but it does sound like something you would have told me.
All right, well, that was fun. I'm of no use anymore. You got all my fun facts.
So they have a romantic walk home. It's like romantic, but not romantic.
Well, she did just get done flirting with the most gorgeous man in the kingdom.
Yeah.
So understandably, there's a little tension.
But then she had to like ease his ego by bringing. Oh no, that was earlier. Never mind. she did
nothing
down.
Nothing here was helpful for K-Hole.
I was thinking about when she was being flirty. Well, that girl wasn't working ways because you were better than her. She didn't say that, but that's how I'm gonna receive that information.
Yes.
Chapter 8, there is some kind of noble dinner party. The king is there, Parrington's there. Everybody who's somebody in the castle is at this party.
Great Gatsby style.
She stared at Dorian, hoping that he'll be a better king than his father. There was a whole lot of monologue. That was...
Got the gist of it.
I think so. She just was really just kept staring at him, thinking about him. And then every time that he saw her, she looks away. And so then from his perspective, which we switched to, every time he looks at her, she's looking at Kale.
Yes. And I think there's some earnestness to that too, because she legitimately was watching Kale.
She was.
She's like, goddamn. He was
intently listening to him. That's what Dorian was seeing her do. When she's looking at him, she is...
What is more romantic than that? Yeah, getting somebody's undivided attention. I'd be jealous as fuck if I was. I'd be like, can't handle it. I'm not like a real jealous dude, but this book could convince me that I am, because I can understand why so many of these dudes are jealous.
I can see that if I hypothetically, which I
You're
don't
okay. You're
do,
not on trial.
well, I just mean, I have realized going through adulthood how important eye contact is.
Yes.
And I don't hold eye contact long with anybody, like gender, like it's just how I hold eye contact.
I don't hold eye contact with their gender.
So I've been like with either gender, I don't think I am really any different with anyone the way I hold eye contact. I hold eye contact the longest with you, and even that isn't like right
This is
now.
the longest stretch.
And because we're talking
Yeah.
about it, I know that if I want to mess with you, I will hold eye contact longer.
Mhm.
And that if you were to observe me doing that to someone else, holding eye contact for a long time,
It would bug me.
it would.
I
And that's
think
how
it
I
could be
imagine.
jealous.
Yes, I think that it could. And that's how I imagine this scene with Dorian and Selena is that she is just holding eye contact with him, or if he is speaking to others, that she's just looking at his eyes.
Do we agree that jealousy in general is a negative thing? Generally, jealousy is a negative thing. But without some form of it, let's say Dorian had not experienced any jealousy through this. You wouldn't believe that he actually had feelings for,
Right.
right?
Because I think he leaves this event because of what he's seeing.
And do you think that that's part of the complication with the toxicity of jealousy? Because I think even in real relationships, that's a tough thing to navigate. Because you want somebody to value you, but you don't want somebody to be possessive of you.
I feel worried saying this, but I don't think the jealousy that we see in these books is the type of jealousy that is dangerous.
Generally speaking, I think you're right.
Because it can get into dangerous territory. But I think this is more of that getting to know someone. Do they like me? Do they not like me? When you see them liking someone else, you get jealous because you're wishing that you were getting those moments.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's to the degree of
Nobody's being murdered over this.
oh, that's really extreme.
Oh, okay.
There's so
I don't know where the line is.
there's no line much sooner.
Oh, okay. Somebody's going to want to tell me.
Well, when we kind of cross this, almost no, I'm gonna say that Kale did cross the jealousy line when he saw Selena in that red dress later, and he says, "You're not wearing that."
When he tries to dictate what she's wearing is a problem.
Yeah.
I would agree. Now, would it be a problem if they were married? Would that bug you? Like, I'm not going to dictate what you wear, but within the confines of how this world works, would that still be an issue for you, do you think?
It would be an issue with me because she is who she is and dressing how she's going to dress. Just because you're married doesn't mean you now get to dictate something. You should be that she's just been herself this whole time. Just because there's now a new label to it doesn't mean that she should change doing things. It's just more, are you guys compatible? She's always been like this.
Well, and this is where the change, is there a necessity for change to an extent? Let's say, reverse this a little bit. Cahill really likes wearing whatever his work uniform, hypothetically. He really likes wearing his work uniform. She's like, no, we're going to see people. Get out of your work uniform. Wear this or that. Is that a similar level of toxicity to you? Or it's because she is trying to make him appear more presentable as opposed to less desirable? Is that where the issue comes in?
I think that there are certain social rules of what you're supposed to wear to things.
You would think that, but we've been to a lot of Halloween events at children's school.
There are social rules, and just because people aren't following,
People are not observing these rules. Yeah, they're a problem. I've been in Walmart and people are not observing the rules. Wear a goddamn bra sometimes.
I think
In the freezer section, it's weird.
it's hard. I just think that I'm trying to clarify that if you are in these early relationship stages and you were attracted to a woman because of the way that she's dressing, you find her attractive, you like this stuff, right?
Yep.
And then you get a label on it and all of a sudden you want her to stop doing that in front of other people. That is going into the assumption that she was doing it to lure,
to garner the attention,
rather than she's just fucking getting dressed for the day and you liked it.
Okay, so I hear where you're coming from, and I appreciate you bringing that to this. Maybe I didn't phrase my question well. within the confines of this world and like this situation.
She's going out to dinner to get information from Archer.
Yep.
And she wanted to show him that she can't have any knives on her. So she needs to be in the skimpiest thing. It's required. Required to dress slutty.
Okay. Go away. I've got no qualms with her doing it. I think where I ran into was, I think I don't agree. I got a bit of an ick. I don't know if that's the term for it when Cahill's like, you're not doing this.
Yeah.
I think partially because Cahill has no claim to her at all. And even if they were hypothetically together, I think it would be okay for him to voice apprehension and discomfort with this.
I
would say that I could understand being acceptable versus you do not make demands of what anybody else is wearing. I'm on board 1,000%. I think voicing a concern here or there, he could totally get away with. Again, if he were in some way involved. At this point, he's just a friend. And that's where I think the ick came from for me with this. Is that similar to you? I mean, yours is probably more so.
Yeah, I agree. And she reacted the same way that I would. She just made it seem like she was going to go fuck the other guy. Just like, you know, I'll see you tomorrow. He's like, what do you mean tomorrow?
And this is where it's so fucking
exactly what I should be tomorrow.
It's so fucking toxic.
Oh, is it so toxic? What was the conversation with you and her daughter last night about toxicity? That if you get cheated on, you were both like, oh, then you destroy that other person's life emotionally.
No, you don't destroy their life. I said it depends on what you need to heal. If you need to remove yourself from that relationship in order to feel as though you can heal, you should leave. If you're angrier than that, do not give them the easy out of, oh yeah, now it's over. You make it so that they have to end this.
Yeah.
You do.
I find that toxic. I think you just leave.
I think you're right. It is toxic, but, and I'm not suggesting
that that's... you say what's toxic was really funny because I was calling you toxic last night.
Well, I'm not toxic in my own action.
No.
I'm theoretically toxic. I'm theoretically toxic.
If I hypothetically cheated, you were out to emotionally destroy me.
It would depend on what headspace I was in.
Yeah.
I'm not wishing pain upon you. I want to make this so clear.
No, I know. I just found it so wild that you would want to stay in a relationship like that.
No, not long term, but...
Because to me, I'm out.
If you break me emotionally, you were out already. Why now do I have to operate on the schedule you created through infidelity? I can create my own schedule through your discomfort. We both get broken in the end. That's the thing. I don't think that one person gets to break a toy and then walk away and play with it, and then the other person has to try to pick up the pieces of their brokenness on their own. I can mend my pieces by taking from you. Not to scare anybody.
Not scare anybody. Wait, what were you just saying that was toxic, though? Because as soon as you said the word toxic, that's where I was.
Okay, I understand. I deserved it. I think it's a little bit toxic to be like, actually, just because you said that, now I'm going to go fuck him. I think that's a wildly toxic thing to do. Like, I understand whether or not your actions events, like, you are down to, like, one friend who is really trying hard to just support you and is worried for your well-being while you're off doing the dangerous thing, and you just keep stepping on him. I think she's being much crueler to Cahill than she needs to be. And again, I don't like Cahill, so this is tough for me.
I think that he pushed, she shoved, and then she realized what she did was wrong-ish, I'm assuming, because she made a point that when she came home later that night to go to his room.
Yeah.
So then it wasn't I'll see you tomorrow. It was almost like a little, hey, I really didn't do that.
He only lasted 20 minutes. High five him and then come back. I hear what you're saying. And again, I do want to point out that overall she's justified in upset with Cahill in a situation because he did way overstep where he should have been. She may have recovered fine from it. She seems to be more driven by reaction in this book than in the last one.
She is a...
It seems less calculated. It's more fly by the seat of your pants.
Yeah.
But she seems like she's clearly under a lot of stress because her reactions to things are immediate. There's not a lot of... We don't see her really sorting through feelings before acting.
Yeah, but I like what she's doing. We skipped a lot.
I know we did.
We were talking about Dorian looking at
Oh,
Hale.
yeah.
And
And
then
I looked at him, and he looked at me.
she followed Dorian, and she said she didn't trust Roland. He bites back. Does she think that Roland's going to use him like she did to become the King's champion? We talked about that. That was an annoying comment from Dorian. I'm like, what do you mean used you to become the King's champion?
Yeah,
You grabbed her.
Yep. No, totally agree. Both of our boys took big ol' L's in this.
Chapter 9. Selena went to the dungeons to speak to Caltaine about Roland. I can't believe we never talked about this scene.
Yeah.
Forgot all about it.
Fucking Caltaine, we all felt bad for her, right?
We felt really...
Okay, good.
It's
I was
just
like,
bruises
shit.
on her.
Yep. I'm not gonna lie, I got so angry hearing this where they're abusing her. I was so fucking mad. I was like, what is happening? And I think that elicited more of an actual emotional response from me than the last 5 books we've read.
Yeah, because she's just like, you want me to go in there and beat your ass? And she's like, no, please don't. It happens enough every day. And then she's like hiding her bruises. Like, ugh.
She was afraid, which, again, Caltaine's evil, for sure. She fucked up. Clearly heavily manipulated, though.
Heavily manipulated.
So,
Cheers. Crows, wings, and still has her headaches.
yeah, she's going to be manipulated again. The reason why she's not dead is because they're going to get her out of jail and try to use her again. Hopefully Selena can break this nonsense. I'm so fucking mad about this, though. K-Hole did the right thing.
He went
K-Hole earned so many fucking points.
those men.
Yeah, K-Hole earned so many fucking points with me in this one, where I was like, my man, thank you, Christ. It's enough that I was becoming a K-Hole guy by that point, just because I'm like, I
He
fucking
was so
hate that.
silent about it, too.
It's
He
the
was
right way
just-
to do it. You
I
just go
told him.
handle it.
He came back. I think he changed it, like, just cleaned up.
Yeah. Knuckles are all swollen. Shit happens.
Yep.
Yeah. It was the exact right response. It was done perfectly. I felt so bad. I
She's like,
can't.
why don't they send me home? Why are they using me? She says, I don't think that I was invited here for what they say. I think I'm going to be used. I have the quote, something is coming and I'm going to greet it.
Yep.
And then I have, hold up. After she told Kale about Caltaine's treatment, he came back to his bedroom where she was reading. And he had bloody knuckles. Like,
She's just hanging out in there.
she was just in his room just reading.
Yes. No, this is my thing.
I
And it's just
know.
like, why are you assuming things are going on? It's like, you can be friends. 100%. I understand. You guys are young and free and all this stuff, and friendship between men and women, be whatever it is. I get it. It's their fantasy world, not just teasing. However, you cannot constantly be in his fucking room and then be upset when he has opinions either. You can't do both things.
Yeah, they're becoming very good friends. And I think this is where you do have a point that she was this close to Dorian in the last book, hanging out, spending time. He was reading to her every night. They were playing games. And now she's hanging out with...
She's
Hale.
using K-Hole too.
Is she?
Yeah, I think she is, because he clearly has other interests, and I think she's aware of those other interests, and she's choosing to not acknowledge those so that she continues to have the relationship through whatever means she currently has it. I think her purposefully ignoring knowing what his thoughts and intentions are in this, it's dirty cool. I don't like it.
Well, after that, Nehemia and her are talking. The king took over Terrasen's land first because it was the most powerful. And Nehemia is sharing this information that then later Terrasen is brought up again. And she finds it. Is it a coincidence? I think not, that Nehemia is talking about Terrasen. And then I find out that these rebel forces are Terrasen. Roland is assigned to deal with Nehemia for pushing hard on improving the slave labor camp in her land. Chapter 10, Holland, Dorian's brother.
Holland Oates. Am I right, guys?
So last
He's 10 years old.
He's
You
10
worry
years
about him being a romantic interest.
he is not.
If we've learned anything about her interaction with, what's male prostitute? What's his name again?
Archer.
Archer. We learned anything about their interaction, though, he's not completely ruled out.
He is ruled out.
For now, give him 6 years.
God, maybe
That's all she
he's
needs.
an older brother. We learn that Kale is disowned by his family. it cuts to Selena in a red dress to meet Archer. And
I got a red dress on tonight. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. And he looks her up and down.
Yeah. Inspecting her for weapons. Everybody's worried. You could get sidetracked. We went over this before. He needs to defend himself. What if a boob comes in and tries to hit him?
Talks about all that. Archer and her are at dinner. He still owes his madam since he was 12 years old. Another comparison to prostitutes and assassins. We discussed that. And then he's in his carriage and he dreams of a day being free. She did pay off her debts, but I think in the days Sam was being killed, like very close to the end, and then she was captured. And she tells Archer, you need to leave. You need to help me get this information. And he brings up, there is a party and I'll invite you to it. Chapter 11.
Bankruptcy.
I
know. You waited. I was going to try to interject and let you get into your thing a little bit. And no, you looked at me. You knew it was coming. We knew it was.
Oh, he shares that the group wants to put Aelin in power. I don't know how to, it's like Alien
in
power. The lost heir to Terrasin, thought to be dead. She's like, no, that can't be. That person's dead. And he's like, well, she's raising an army.
Yeah.
Well, he says that he overheard the conversations of those people that he works for. Terrasin is the place that Nehemia mentioned earlier that could rise and defeat the king. Is this Nehemia's doing with all of this information? What is she? God, why is she bringing up Terrasin?
We called it at the end of last book that Nehemia is going to be on the hit list at a certain point.
Yeah. Offers him an out, but she wants to go to the party to learn more about the movement and who's posing as Aelin. I could be pronouncing that wrong. She snuck.
I thought it was Galen.
I thought it was Aelin. There's so many like Arrowin, whatever her assigned name by Nehemia. There's another A name.
Oh shit, you're right.
There's a lot of A's.
Yeah, there are.
She snuck into Kael's room and shares most, but not all of her intel, and he shares his worries because he cares.
Right, which at this point it might be easier for K-Hole just to get it written out on a card and just hand it to her once in a while. It's the same thing. He's like, you're fucking playing with fire on me. These people are dangerous. Don't do too much shit by yourself. Be very careful. And then she's like, don't tell me to be careful. I can take care of my own damn self. And he's like, no, I'm telling you to be careful because I care. And she's like, I don't give a shit. You clearly don't have faith in me being the world's greatest assassin if you don't think that I can do this without you asking.
I do agree on that.
No,
I have the faith.
He can still want her to exercise caution. I don't think you should wear a seatbelt because you're definitely going to get in a crash. You wear a seatbelt because it's extra. One more lane of protection. Any extra thing you can do to prevent catastrophe, that's what you do. Don't you think?
Yeah.
When you told me to be careful when I do climb on a roof the other day and you're like, be careful. I wasn't like, what do you mean be careful? Like, I don't know how to use my 2 feet on a roof? That's crazy. A ladder? I don't know how to use a ladder. Is that what you're telling me? No, I was like, no, be cautious. Don't worry about it. And then I went and did it. Like,
and then you almost fell off the roof.
That was different. Yeah, it turned out the roof way steeper. And I thought it was a gust of wind came right as I was trying to get off. That was a bummer.
That's so
I didn't die, though. But I did not die. But I was being cautious.
Good.
Maybe because you said something before I left the house, I gave it that extra little bit of cautiousness. And therefore, I am not dead or paraplegic.
Oh, good.
So maybe that's what K-Hole is doing with her, and she should just say, thanks, I will be.
I think that is kind of what happened. He's really just being more open about, I care about you.
And she's like, what, you want to fuck me? He's like, no, we're friends. I mean, yeah.
That's not what happened.
That's basically what she's like, quit being controlling.
She didn't say any of that.
But that's her whole aspect with it.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. You need to make sure that he doesn't do those things. But thank you for caring.
There was never a thank you for caring.
There was not.
Get out of here.
Chapter 12. She's attending the masquerade. Pop quiz. What does she go as?
An owl.
No.
So when people looked at her, what would they say, Avery?
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh, what'd she go as? Some bird?
A swan.
Yeah, there we go. I knew something like that.
Do you remember what Archer went as?
No, if it was also a swan, that's great.
A wolf.
Mighty Alpha.
Wait a minute. I wonder if that's important. I didn't piece that together yet. Maybe he's a wolf, and that's a sign that he's bad.
Perhaps he's a predator.
Uh-oh. They're hanging out there. Madame Clarice. I don't think it's Madame Clarice, but I keep saying.
No, you're right. Clarice is a madam.
She's walking around finding clients. Davis has been Archer's client for years and possibly the key leader. The group doesn't care about Aelin, but wants a puppet.
I have a question. We have not heard about a female client. Does he specifically service the dudes of the kingdom? Or is he servicing people in front of the dudes of the kingdom? Are they cucking it? What's going on with that guy's arrangement?
So this is where I really felt like Archer is in a more challenging position than Elena.
Phrasing is great.
They keep saying women as like are his. No.
Women love him, but all of the clients are men.
Yes, and that's the thing. I think he would have more male clients.
Interesting.
But yeah.
Well,
Davis has been Archer's client for years. They don't care about Aelin, the heir to Terrason, I think.
Yes.
But they want a puppet. Archer let her into Davis's room. She found a book of word marks. It's similar to the one in the library that she last found. Quote, there was a little thing inside of it. It is only with the eye that one can see rightly. And then I have again, how does the king actually stop people from using magic? He outlawed it. This doesn't make sense.
I think you bar the open practice of it.
I think
clearly it's not really outlawed. People are using it.
Yeah,
but like, it's not so.
How do you stop people from using new magic? How do you what?
If they're caught doing it, you murder them.
I think he's using magic to stop everyone.
Okay. All right, I'm done with that. He's got like magic that sniffs out if they're using magic.
I don't know.
But it seems like then our Nehemia would definitely be in trouble.
But hers is old magic.
Sure.
I feel like the only way to stop magic is with magic, and I don't understand how.
I'm only like 3 movies into the Harry Potter series.
And then we have Davis enter the room.
You're a wizard, Davis.
Pretending to be heartbroken and blame the housekeeper. He stabs her. This was a great scene. This was intense. And then you were just dancing and vibing and looking at me, trying to get me to dance. I'm like, I
was cleaning the kitchen and dancing. That's what I like to do. I like to jam out.
And I'm like, this is intense. What's happening?
Yeah, I didn't know that that's the part of the book you were listening to at that point. I probably would have given you another fight.
She pins him down and he stabbed her with a poison dagger. And then she takes that from him and she slits his throat.
Yeah.
Blech. She cuts her dress off so now she can get through the window. And she runs and staggers her way to Kale.
Yeah.
Which was great.
Yeah, where his arms were open, ready to accept her, knowing that she had thrown caution closer to the wind than maybe necessary, ready to help her in her time of need. Even though she's a tough girl, she can do it all by herself. How long was she out?
What do you mean?
How long was she?
For many hours. Like, knocked out.
I thought it was like days.
Oh, maybe it was. I don't know. Longer than expected.
Much longer.
Yeah.
Than expected. And she came to, and who was there to support her?
Oh, Kale was in the corner, and he's like sprawled out, falling asleep, unbuttoned shirt.
Furiously masturbating.
No, don't ruin the moment.
Sorry, my bad.
It was a great moment. It was cute.
Yeah. Okay. That's not how he likes to hear it described, but sure, your thing.
No. And she wakes up, and he was there. But I want to take it back a step.
Oh.
Chapter 13. He cuts her dress with his hunting knife, looking for the wounds because she's covered in blood.
But he can't find it.
He can't find it. And then he remembers, oh, she said the poison that she was stabbed with. I'm like, Kale, why was that the first thing that you were thinking of? Why did we jump to cutting her dress up?
We're going to get these pants off her.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, he does all this as a full...
She's freezing. We need body heat. He brings her in. They're just intertwined. Just nude, and he's just holding her tight to his body. He's like, I'm trying to keep her body temperature up. They're like, she is burning up.
She says one word, and he just forgets it until after she has been fully examined for these wounds. He's like, I can't find the wound. Oh, wait, maybe it has something to do with the one word that she said when she walked into this room.
On something that could be...
So he did good, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah.
You took some liberties,
He
I will say.
did.
Yeah, right.
And she woke up to Chaos sleeping in a chair in an unbuttoned shirt.
Hmm.
He won't tell the king what happened, and she thought about feeling the safest with Chaos.
Yeah, this is the thing. I wonder if you're right and K-Hole is the guy, but I kind of don't like that.
Why?
He's growing on me, but I still struggle with him. It seems like they're more trauma bonded than other things.
Trauma bonded.
They both lost their lovers. Hold on. He's disowned by his family. She's raised by a king of assassins and never came to get her or bail her out of prison and has yet to have made contact with her after knowing she was bailed out of that internment camp. I think there's a lot of similar areas in which they can bond. And I think that he's a good dude, but I don't know. Seems too convenient for me. I hate that I'm on the prince's side of this. I truly do, because I don't... He's really gone down a few notches. The jealousy is pissing me off. He's oddly semi-possessive of her. Although, again, framing it through the lens of he's just seeking the friendship that she claimed she wanted changes that for me too, but I think I also know that that's not necessarily true.
He wants more, but he is not trying to push anything.
That's the thing. I think he's respecting her boundaries while also examining the lack of truth in the boundaries that she established. And I think that's really shitty on her part, but also it makes me not like
he killed Kane for her without a second thought, and he beat the shit out of those guards for Kaltain, even though she...
First of all, what he knew without giving it a second thought, he killed Kane. He killed Kane and then continues to think of it every goddamn time he closes his eyes. It's not without a second thought. He killed him immediately, sure, but there's been a second, third, fourth, fifth, 12th thought afterward. It's nothing but that thought. K-Hole is great. I'm agreeing with you, but he's growing on me. I still don't see him as her guy yet. And maybe it's because I don't find him charming. I think he is utilitarian-wise. I think he's awesome.
Just not charming?
He's doing all the right stuff. I'm just not also entertained by it. Like, I found a lot of moments that I really enjoyed K-Hole, and I was like, yes, he's doing the thing. Yes, he's doing the right thing. And you have little moments that I dislike, and I like the realism of that. He's not written to be absolutely perfect, but he isn't also charming. I don't find the broody kind of like arm's distance, but faux arm's distance he keeps from her to be a charming thing.
I would agree. He's not charming because he's not charismatic and all of that.
I'm getting where you're coming from. I think I'm just regretting that I think you could be right, because I don't see him as the preferred option.
Well, it's getting late, and I think that we're going to have to begin our next chapters to learn more about the characters. And I am really sorry for cutting it shorter.
We're good. Chapter 26 this time, right?
Is that what we ended on? No.
13.
Oh,
we go to chapter 26.
Yeah, I think so. Or 27, something like that.
Perfect.
I love you.
I love you.
You're my bestie.
You're my best.
Thank you guys for supporting us. It's been a good time. If you'd like more,
follow us here, TikTok or Instagram. Fable, if you want to join our book club. Patreon, if you want episodes early.
Dropping on Tuesdays if you're into that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah. Episodes are releasing on Tuesdays. If there's a two-parter, it's going to be on Thursdays.
We accept 5-star reviews and nothing less. If you leave something less, you're a motherfucker.
No!
Oh.
Honest reviews.
Not that honest. Only leave a review if you're willing to be a 5-star honest person. Should we come up with something mean to say to him on the way out? I kind of want to pick on him.
No, I would say love you. Bye.
Oh, you can tell him that you love him.
Okay.
I won't.
Love you guys before Ryan bullies you out of here.
I'm fine with most of you. I love you, bye.